F1 World Champions who won it only once. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As per your demand, here is another exciting video related to Formula 1. Since not every Formula 1 driver can be declared world champion, this video is all about those who have achieved greatness but have only done it once. In 71 years of competition, only 33 drivers have won it. Come on, let's have a look at 10 drivers who became the world champions only once. Number 1, Nico Rosberg. 2016. Likely the most famous of all single championship winners is Nico Rosberg, the most recent winner on this list, having triumphed in 2016. After a season-long battle with teammate and longtime rival Lewis Hamilton, during which he seemed to be cracking under pressure, Rosberg secured his first and only world title at the season-closing Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. After the Mercedes pair's iconic clash at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix, Rosberg seemed to lose his confidence and surrendered the lead of the championship to Hamilton. This didn't go unnoticed, and the team's non-executive chairman Niki Lauda paid a visit to Rosberg's house during the summer break to coach him back to peak performance. When the season resumed at the Belgian Grand Prix, Rosberg's form soared. In just 9 races, he turned a 9-point deficit into a 12-point lead. After winning the championship in Abu Dhabi, Rosberg shocked the F1 world just days later by announcing his plans to retire. Number 2, Mario Andretti. 1978. Mario Andretti is currently the last American F1 driver to win a world championship. Andretti had enormous success with Lotus in 1978, accumulating 7 podiums throughout the season, 6 of which were race wins. He finished the season as champion with 64 points, 13 clear of title rival Ronnie Peterson. To this day, he remains the only driver to win the Indianapolis 500, Daytona 500, and the F1 World Championship. He is also one of 2 drivers to ever win a race in NASCAR, F1, and the Indianapolis 500, along with Juan Pablo Montoya. 3. Nigel Mansell. 1992. British motorsport legend Nigel Mansell might be misremembered for having won multiple world titles, but, in fact, he only managed to win one. Mansell had actually called time on his F1 career partway through 1990 while racing for Ferrari. After a successful first year with the Italian team, their signing of Frenchman Alain Prost appeared to unsettle the Brit, and after retiring from the lead of his home race, Mansell announced he would walk away from F1 at the end of the year. Fortunately, Williams owner Frank Williams stepped in and convinced Mansell to rejoin the team for 1991. He went on to enjoy his most prolific period across the following 2 seasons, winning 14 races in the 1992 F1 World Championship. With some truly legendary performances that have marked the history books, Mansell made a name for himself as one of the most iconic F1 drivers. With a reputation such as his and the cult following he had, it's easy to assume he won multiple world championships. Number 4, Jenson Button. 2009. Jenson Button and his infamous Braun BGP001 stole all the headlines in 2009, from the start of the season to the very end. At the end of 2008, Honda officially pulled out of F1 due to the global financial crisis, a decision that threatened the future of their 700 Brackley-based staff. Fortunately, team boss Ross Brawn swooped in at the 11th hour and bought the remains of the former Honda team, creating Brawn GP. Given the team's infancy, their use of a double diffuser, and the late change to Mercedes power, nobody expected this newcomer team to be quick. They were proven wrong though, as Button and Brawn were 1.5 seconds quicker than the rest of the field in preseason testing. Such speed for a new team was unheard of, but it provided Button with enough pace to win 6 of the opening 7 races in 2009. Number 5, Kimi Räikkönen. 2007. Officially the most experienced driver in F1 history, Kimi Räikkönen secured his one and only World Championship triumph in 2007. In his maiden season with the Scuderia after leaving McLaren, Räikkönen hit the ground running and became only the 3rd driver in history to be crowned champion in their first season with the legendary Italian team. After putting his Ferrari on pole, earning the fastest lap, and winning his first race for the team in Australia, Räikkönen was already keeping up with Ferrari's reputation for dominance at the time. 2007 progressed to see Räikkönen crowned world champion in Brazil, despite entering the final race in 3rd place in the standings with the top 3 separated by just a single point. Number 6, Damon Hill. 1996. Being the son of a star F1 driver and double world champion, Damon Hill was almost expected to take the wheel at some point, and indeed, he joined Williams as a test driver in 1991. Halfway through the 1992 season, Hill was unexpectedly promoted to a full-time seat with the struggling Brabham team. Hill then transitioned back to Williams in 1993 to race alongside triple world champion Alain Prost. After a very successful few seasons with the team, Hill was crowned world champion in 1996 before leaving the team to join the underfunded Arrows team. Though he continued to race in F1 for a further 3 years, adding one more memorable race win with Jordan in 1998, he never again matched that level of success he achieved with Williams. Despite only winning one championship during his F1 career, Hill has always garnered respect and acknowledgement for his accomplishments. Number 7. Jacques Villeneuve, 1997 Canadian world champion and son of the legendary Gilles Villeneuve. Jacques Villeneuve took the championship title in 1997, immediately following Damon Hill's victory. Despite being disqualified from the Japanese Grand Prix for failing to adhere to a yellow flag, an incident which consequently allowed his rival Michael Schumacher to seize the championship lead, Villeneuve fought back and claimed the 1997 championship for himself at the season finale in Jerez. Number 8. Jochen Rindt, 1970 Austrian driver. Jochen Rindt is a very unique world champion. He is, to this day, the only F1 driver to win a world title posthumously. Rindt endured a fairly unremarkable F1 career up until his final years in the sport, with most races resulting in retirement and only one third place in the Drivers' Championship as consolation in 1966. Rindt concluded the 1970 season as world champion. Having won 5 of the 1970 season's 10 Grand Prix, Rindt had a sizable lead in the championship. Upon arrival at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix, it didn't look likely that anyone would challenge him for the title. Rindt concluded the 1970 season as world champion. Number 9. James Hunt, 1976 James Hunt certainly had a few unsavory reputations during his time in F1, and his behavior away from the track polarized opinion somewhat, despite his success on it. Regardless of his status though, Hunt was an undeniable talent. Once entering F1 in 1973, Hunt's first few seasons were a bit rocky. Making his debut with Hesketh Racing, an aristocrat-owned, just-for-fun, team, Hunt led the team to some surprising results and even finished 4th in the 1975 Drivers' Championship. Clearly, his performances were noticeable enough to impress McLaren, and they signed the British driver to partner German Jochen Mass in 1976. Upon taking the wheel of the famed Marlboro liveried McLaren, Hunt excelled. He won the championship in 1976 after a tense rivalry with Ferrari's Niki Lauda, which is well documented in the 2013 film Rush, taking his one and only title before retiring 3 years later in 1979. Number 10. Jody Scheckter, 1979 South African world champion. Jody Scheckter had a very illustrious F1 career, with his 1979 world title being the peak of his success. Debuting in 1972 with McLaren and staying with the team for 2 seasons, Scheckter made a few sporadic appearances but failed to score any points throughout, 72 to 73. Scheckter seemed to follow a trend with every team he joined, having one successful season and one slightly underwhelming season, and this continued when he joined Walter Wolf Racing in 1977, finishing 2nd in his first campaign and then 7th in 78. It was a move to Ferrari in 1979 that saw Scheckter finally realize his potential as he became world champion in his first season with the team. The South African left a true legacy, despite only winning one title. These were some of the world champions of Formula 1. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and would be waiting for another interesting video. That's it for now. Like, share the video and subscribe to this channel.